How to lose belly fat from a big belly to six-pack. Everyone has body fat. Ignore the fitness magazine headline of the ripped guy saying how he literally has no fat on his body. Body fat is necessary. It is the best fuel storage for your body as it's providing him a lot of energy. Fat tissue is your body's way of storing energy. Back in our hunter and gatherer times this was crucial. One could not buy foods as easily as we buy them today. In prehistoric times we had to go days and maybe even weeks without food. The accumulation of fat cells was crucial in that day and age. Fat cells used to be our friends. Now we like to call them our worst enemy. What used to be so beneficial in the past is now deeply annoying. But that fat storage, especially around your waist, belly fat, can not only be annoying, but also be dangerously life-threatening. My grandfather used to have a really big and hard belly. He had such a huge belly that he would be able to drive his Mercedes with his tummy only. Just hilarious when you think about it. My grandpa was not storing his body fat at the right point. In fact, the belly fat turned out to be life-threatening. My grandfather suffered from lung cancer just some years later, but which he has thankfully beaten by now. He developed dangerous fat around his organs, which can be really dangerous. This is the fat my grandfather possessed in excess. Fat around your organs can be potentially life-threatening. It reduces the blood flow to these important tissues and can impair organ function. It's very stressful for your body. You've got a lot of visceral fat on your belly if it's hard and constantly looks like the belly has swollen up. The typical beer belly is a product of fat buildup around your organs. Instead of laying around your organs, this fat is directly under your skin. You can pinch it with your fingers. This fat is less life-threatening, but it can also drastically impair your confidence, athletic ability and your self-image. Subcutaneous fat can also be found around your hips, where it is called cellulite. Although visceral fat is the more dangerous one. Both of these fat cells should be avoided to have in excess. They both can increase the fat content in your blood. As fat levels rise, the ability of your body to clear sugar from the blood drops due to insulin resistance. This can lead to type 2 diabetes in the long term. I remember talking with a friend that had great abs since he was born. I asked him for advice. He told me that I should find ways to cope with my current situation, as having a six-pack is purely genetical, not the motivation I had hoped for. Today I can tell you with confidence that he was wrong. I currently have a six-pack and am extremely proud of it. It shows me that everything is possible if you put in the work. What needs to be done to lose your belly fat is often just a mindset shift. Most people know that they're eating the wrong foods. You already know that daily exercise is crucial for losing your belly fat. What people often lack is the mental state and the willingness to actually put in the work. I don't recommend you exercising for burning excess calories only. Yes, there is some of that. But exercise can also dramatically influence your mindset. Physical activity gives you the feeling of control over your life. It gives you better self-awareness and control. It betters your thinking and increases your happiness. The mental state of mind that you need when you're trying to lose your belly fat. Meditate daily. Doesn't have to be too long. As simple as 2 minutes of focusing on your breath is totally enough. Mindfulness helps you improve your thoughts. Thoughts turn into desire and desire turns into actions. By controlling your thoughts you're less likely to indulge in foods that you know are not good for you. My binge eating habit nearly disappeared after practicing mindfulness on a daily basis. Or as Warren Buffett said, you have to develop the habits of success. Realize that your life is constantly under construction. You were not born perfect and neither was I. Try to constantly change your life for the better. This way you will find new ways to better your health and lose the excess fat on your tummy. Take immediate action. The previous list may seem long and tedious. But don't get discouraged. Start small. Small changes add up over the long term. Ask yourself, have you washed your dishes today? If not, stop reading this article right now and wash your dishes. Don't search for excuses. Simply do it right now. Once you've washed your dishes, ask yourself, have I made my bed this morning? No. Immediately start making your bed. These habits may seem insignificant to you. But trust me, they will help you get momentum in your life. To watch a video on how to better control your mind and become limitless while losing your belly fat, of course. Click here. Mark McManus. Mark is a personal trainer who specializes in coaching people on how to build muscle the scientific way. Read full profile. Spare tire. Love handles. Muffin top. Pot belly. All somewhat comical terms for belly fat. Most people don't like having that extra flab around their midsections. But we tend to just put up with it because we haven't learned how to lose belly fat. Many have tried some diet or bought a video on how to do a perfect crunch. But there is too much conflicting advice out there. Also, many people have tried and failed. So giving it another go just seems so daunting. Take heart. Because there is a truly effective strategy to lose stomach fat. But you may have to loosen up some old preconceptions. It's important to note that. In this article, I will specifically talk about fat loss as opposed to overall weight loss, fat, muscle, and water. The strategy involves both diet and exercise, nothing new there. However, it entails two unique ways of going about it. If you put your mind to it, it's completely possible to learn how to lose stomach fat and start working toward the body you want. The key here is to become a fat and protein burner if you want to learn how to lose stomach fat fast. Low carbohydrate nutrition is one of the most effective ways of shedding pounds of fat from the body. If you eat what most government guidelines recommend you eat, you are a carb burner. It then becomes obvious that, in order to become a fat burner, you should reduce the current primary energy source, i.e., carbohydrates. When you do this, your body takes a few days to flip a metabolic switch and become a fat-burning machine. At that point, the fat you eat gets consumed first. And then you start burning away body fat as your primary source of energy. Obviously, you shouldn't consume copious amounts of fat. And you won't even need to switch to a zero-carb diet to benefit. Anything under 100 grams of carbs a day is considered low-carb, but ideally under 60 grams would produce great results. On low-fat diets, which by nature are high-carb diets, when your food calories are gone, the body will burn a mixture of both fat and muscle tissue protein. As muscle mass is metabolically active, it burns calories all day long just by being there. Losing it is a disaster for the dieter as their metabolism will continually slow down over time. This is one of the main reasons why low-fat diets very often produce temporary results. You lose weight for a while. But then it stops working, as your metabolism has crashed. And you experience weight gain, all you had lost and then some. There are several ways to lower your carb intake and start losing fat by making fairly simple changes to your diet. Here are just a few ideas to try when you want to learn how to lose belly fat. If you chose a random sample of people on any given day in the US, you would find that at least half of them drink sugary drinks on any given day. 25% would be receiving about 200 calories per day from such drinks. One can of Coca-Cola contains nearly 40 grams of carbohydrates. Remember above where we said 60 was ideal? Well, drink one can of soda and you're nearly there. Cutting drinks with added sugar from your diet can do wonders to help you reduce your carb intake. Replace it with unsweetened tea or water for a hydration boost. When you order a meal at a restaurant, most of the default sides are potatoes, French fries, mashed potatoes, etc., or bread. These are both packed with carbs. A standard small order of French fries contains around 30 grams of carbs, that bumps up to around 50 for a medium order. Instead of going with the default sides, ask for vegetables. There is usually a steamed broccoli or mixed veggies option at most restaurants. Healthy eating is key if you want to reduce carbs. One serving of whole milk contains nearly 13 grams of carbs due to the presence of lactose, a type of sugar. On the contrary, a serving of unsweetened soy milk only contains about 3 grams of carbs. Try switching out the milk you use for your cereal or in your coffee. The flavor will be a bit different. So give yourself time to adjust to it. Low-carb diet works for many people. But it might not be for everyone. The key is always to see which one works for you best. And it's always a good idea to check with your doctor before making major changes to your diet. The above suggestion and explanation hopefully can provide you a new perspective and approach to get rid of your belly fat. Just give it a try and listen to your body's reaction. The most important question here is whether you should focus on cardio or interval training if you're trying to learn how to lose belly fat. Overdoing cardiovascular exercise will also put your body in a state where it breaks down lean muscle tissue catabolism. So, the question is, how do we complement our fat-burning nutritional strategy with fat-burning physical activity? It's called interval training, or, more specifically, high-intensity interval training, HIIT. The idea is to perform some sort of cardio in fits and starts, i.e., a period of lower intensity followed by a period of higher intensity. Research shows that this type of work burns more fat than steady-state cardio, typically by about 50%. In fact, one study showed a 9-fold increase in fat loss for HIIT compared to low-medium intensity cardio. Furthermore, a 2018 study discovered that HIIT was superior to moderate intensity continuous training for improving heart rate variability. The even better news is that, when you're looking into how to lose belly fat, HIIT need only be performed for 10 to 20 minutes at a time. There are several elements of HIIT workouts, as well as several approaches to them. Here are just a couple of things to keep in mind. Tabata is a common HIIT formula, and it's great for beginners. This involves 20 seconds of work and 10 seconds of rest. You should shoot for 4 minutes, or 8 rounds. You can use this to target the part of your body you want to tone. HIIT is a great fat burner, but it's a lot for the body. So try to shoot for 2 to 3 HIIT workouts per week. If you want to exercise every day, switch it out for cardio or strength training in between. If you want to add an extra layer to your HIIT workout, feel free to add weights. You can include ankle weights if you want to increase leg strength, for example. However, don't do this at the very beginning. Give yourself a few weeks to adjust to the HIIT style of workout before adding in more. Hopefully you can see that these unique approaches to diet and nutrition will work synergistically to produce truly effective fat loss by. The best way to lose stomach fat is to put your diet and nutrition to work. You'll be amazed by how quickly you're able to work toward your ideal body. Harvard Th. Chan, Sugary Drinks Fat Secret, Carbs in French Fries Nutrition Data, Milk. Whole Everyday Health, all about soy milk, nutrition, benefits, risks, and how it compares with other milks. Metabolism, clinical and experimental, impact of exercise intensity on body fatness and skeletal muscle metabolism. International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health, the effects of high-intensity interval training versus moderate intensity continuous training on heart rate variability in physically inactive adults. Adaptive, how to tackle HIIT workouts as a beginner. Mark is a personal trainer who specializes in coaching people on how to build muscle the scientific way. Text source, lifehack.org.